Right now, a wildfire is forcing evacuations in southern Colorado this morning. So far, we know it's burned at least one building in the Trujillo Creek area northwest of Trinidad. The Los Animas County Sheriff's Office is telling people near Mauricio Canyon and Trujillo Creek to evacuate. They say deputies are trying to reach everyone in that area, but Los Animas County is one of a handful in Colorado that cannot send Amber Alert style messages to all cell phones in a certain area. Imagine closing on a new home and within 24 hours watching it all go up in flames. That's exactly what happened to a Boulder couple who closed on their home the day before it burned in the Marshall Fire. 9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez joins us in studio right now. Brianna, the family wants to rebuild right now, but they're running into these insurance issues.
Yeah, exactly. Their case falls into an insurance loophole because they had just closed on their home and weren't technically living there just yet. Now, Gabe and Tamara Bodner says the insurance company didn't consider the home to be a principal residence, even though the couple had already started moving their things into their new home. The Marshall Fire destroyed it all. Now the couple is fighting to get their living expenses paid for and their lost items reimbursed. And on top of all of this, the Bodner family has had a tough time getting their building permit, all while building costs are going up right now.
Amazing, you get to be in a new house. That's not what we were asking for. We just wanted to live in the home that we bought.
The couple has been patient even while fighting with the insurance company. More than a year after the fire, the earliest Tamara and Gabe Bodner could break ground on their new home is in May.
Wow, what a weird technicality. Thanks for that report. That's just so strange. Yeah.
It's 6:04 right now. It's happened again. Another mass shooting, this time in Louisville, Kentucky. This morning, police are calling it workplace violence. Overnight, a woman died at the hospital, bringing the total number of people killed to 5.
Louisville's mayor calls it horrific, a horrific tragedy, one that Americans deal with far more often than the rest of the world combined. Already this year, there have been more than 100 mass shootings in the United States. NBC's Jay Gray reports on the details of this latest one in Louisville.
Overnight, prayers and pain.
Gracious God, the news of this day has ripped our hearts, and it has torn our souls.
Active aggressor, 333 East Main Street, 333 East Main Street at Old National Bank.
Downtown Louisville, in seconds, shifting to the scene of America's latest mass shooting.
Let's be clear about what this was. This was an evil act of targeted violence.
At least 5 killed. James Tutt, Juliana Farmer, Josh Barrick, Thomas Elliott, and Deanna Eckert, who died from her wounds at the hospital last night. 8 injured, including 26-year-old Nick Wilt, sworn in as a Louisville police officer just 10 days before the attack.
Nick has come out of brain surgery and is in critical but stable condition.
Wilt, part of the first wave of officers arriving just 3 minutes after the first 911 call, confronting and during an intense firefight killing the 25-year-old suspect identified as a bank employee. Police and federal agents pulling evidence from the bank and suspect's home, searching for any clue that may help them understand how and why the killing spree happened, as this grieving community searches for a way to deal with overwhelming loss.
We will get through this. We'll get through this together. It's the only way. And we'll march forward.
Jay Gray, NBC News, Louisville.
The city of Louisville, along with the Red Cross, has set up a family assistance center to help anyone struggling mentally and emotionally following the attack. And if you are struggling, help is always available 24/7 from Colorado Crisis Services. You can call 1-844-493-8255 or you can text TALK to 38255. You can also access resources through the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Just dial 988.
Parents and students in Colorado's largest school district say their safety questions still aren't answered weeks after the shooting at Denver's East High School. Now the superintendent for Denver Public Schools says he's heard their feedback and it's time for the experts to work out a plan. Superintendent Alex Morero says he's attended multiple meetings with East parents in the weeks since a student shot 2 deans on campus. Since then, the district has brought Denver police officers back to high school campuses. But some parents want more answers around placement of students who need daily pat downs for a weapons. Morero says he spoke with the state Secretary of Education and he's working with other experts to find safety solutions.
More than ever, this is for experts to help us develop a plan instead of reinventing the wheel.
Our babies don't feel safe. Our babies are taking matters into their own hands, unintentionally making themselves unsafe.
The board was also set to discuss a potential censure of board vice president Ayante Anderson over his comments about a confidential executive session to 9 News and other news outlets. Anderson is accused by the board president of violating more than a dozen board policies. She claims Anderson may have opened the board up to legal action for the East shooting when he told 9 News that, quote, students could be safer. The board didn't take up the potential censure because every board member except the president voted to take it off the agenda.
Lawmakers at the state capitol are working on a bill that would make it a felony to report a fake mass shooting. At least 17 schools across the state got threatening calls back in February. Many of these calls included the sound of gunshots in the background and real police responses. Colorado lawmakers criminalized calls like these, also known as swatting calls, back in 2018, but that intended to address fake bomb threats and is charged as a misdemeanor. The newly proposed bill would make it a felony if the fake report is specifically about a mass shooting or active shooters. A Senate committee unanimously passed the bill yesterday and now heads to the full state Senate for consideration.
DACA recipients could have new opportunities in law enforcement thanks to a new bill that passed in Colorado. The bipartisan bill allows law enforcement to amend their policies, allowing people brought to the U.S. without documentation as children to now carry firearms. Right now, DACA recipients can't legally carry a firearm, limiting the kind of calls they can respond to within law enforcement. This bill also allows DACA recipients to attend peace officer training academies and now heads to the governor's desk for his signature.
The future of an abortion pill is hanging in the balance after a Texas judge challenged the FDA's approval of mifepristone. The Department of Justice is appealing that decision, calling it extraordinary and unprecedented. The Biden administration is calling the ruling a backdoor ban on abortion. Meanwhile, a judge in another state said judges should not mess with FDA approvals and ruled the drug must be accessible in at least 17 states, including Colorado, that sued to make the pills easier to obtain. The DOJ hasn't said if it will appeal that order. The Justice Department says they will take the Texas ruling to the Supreme Court if needed. Coming up on Channel 20 at 8:40, our 9 News medical expert Dr. Pyle Coley joins us to talk more about the pill and its advantages and disadvantages.
One of the Democrats voted out of the Tennessee state legislature last week is headed back. The Nashville Metro Council voted unanimously yesterday to reappoint Justin Jones to the State House of Representatives. The GOP-controlled House voted to expel Jones and 2 other lawmakers after they joined protests for gun reform. 2 lawmakers were expelled, 1 was not. Jones says the first thing he plans to do when he gets back in the House is continue to fight for gun reform. Former Representative Justin Pearson was with Jones after being reinstated. He was the other lawmaker expelled last week. The chairman for his district in Memphis has called a special meeting for Wednesday to consider reappointing Pearson to his former seat.
The U.S. is scrambling to investigate how highly classified Pentagon documents ended up online in recent weeks. Some of the documents exposed the U.S. eavesdropping on allies, including South Korea, Israel, and Ukraine. Some of the documents reveal key weaknesses in Ukrainian weaponry and military readiness. Others show the degree to which the U.S. has infiltrated the Russian Ministry of Defense. Officials say the documents are authentic, but according to the Secretary of Defense for Public Affairs, some of the images online have been altered.
These photos appear to show documents similar in format to those used to provide daily updates to our senior leaders on Ukraine and Russia. Some of these images appear to have been altered.
Officials are now concerned how this might impact U.S. and Ukrainian ties. An advisor for the Ukrainian president says he believes Russians are behind this leak.